Welcome back to another video for under 450k. And yes, I have a juicy video for you guys, and as you can see on the screen, it is simply about Melton City within Victoria. And recently Melton has gotten the attention of many different individuals and groups, including Facebook groups, different buyers agents, different property gurus out there, etc. There's a lot of people interested and also disinterested, and they're all making their opinions and statements about Melton. And so, before I go into the breakdown of Melton City, if you have not subscribed already, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. We are growing immensely fast. I also do have a free property newsletter. It's absolutely free. We have over 500 investors currently subscribed. I release a new weekly newsletter every single week, and that you'll have so much jam-packed information in it. And if you are looking for that bit of extra guidance, I do have a private community, which is just $35 a month. We have over 65 people join. There is so much information. There's so much exclusive and early content, as well as different things such as my analysis method. There's also weekly community calls that is recorded and advertised as well. So there is so much value in just $35 a month that it's a no-brainer if you are investing to go and subscribe to my community, among my other resources as well. All right, let's get back into the video of Melton City. This is what you've all been waiting for. And what I'm going to do first is show you from the data side why Melton City is attractive. And for those of you who don't know, I have a partnership with Hashtag, and you can actually use a code that I'll show on the screen right now, which will actually give you 25% off their investor plan. And so what I'm actually going to do is actually show you Melton City first on a region level basis before I go into the suburb level understanding. And so when we start to scroll down, we can see that it has a population of close to 200,000 people with 100,000 homes. It has very good scores in terms of bushfire, flood risk, and a huge amount of infrastructure spend, right? And in the past 3 years, we have seen very minimal growth with a very healthy 10-year average and no signs of a really cyclical market. So it's very stable over the growth over its lifetime so far. We can see the indicative yield has been rising in the past couple of months or in the past 12 months or so. A very good renter to owner occupier ratio of 25%. And then we scroll down onto the supply side metrics where we can see the stock on market is very low at 0.45%. We can see the inventory is 1.31 months and days on market is 38 days. So it's selling within generally a month or 2 months of property. However, there are some red flags and most investors can already spot them. One includes a vacancy rate sitting at 3%. That is ridiculously high. I generally invest in locations with 1% or less, but 3% is very high, as well as the building approvals is sitting at almost 5% for the Melton region. And that's 4,162 approvals. But I must call out the way that Hashtag actually classifies all its building approval includes a lot of different suburbs within the area, including places like Taylor's Hill, which is actually quite far away from Melton, or reasonably far away from Melton, as well as Aintree, right? And the reason why it's so important is because we can see many different suburbs included within Melton City that actually surround it, including Aintree, including Thornhill Park, including Taylor's Hill, which all factor into the suburb metrics of the building approval. So that's number one thing I want to call out. To summarize, there's two things that concern me: building approvals and vacancy rate. But we can also see that stock on market is reducing, as well as days on market in the last couple of months has been coming down, also the past 6 months. So that's good signs. However, when we have about 25 suburbs to select from Melton City, we want to really narrow that down. And simply by filtering through 4 metrics, including yield, including days on market, stock on market, and vacancy rate, we can see that we have rapidly reduced it down to literally only 2 suburbs, and that includes Melton West and Diggers Rest. And Diggers Rest is not really a suburb within Melton City, as you can see in this picture over here. It's kind of further away, near Sunbury. And so if we want to include more suburbs, we need to start increasing the vacancy rate a little bit, because I know that is the metric that is a bit tight. So if we increase that to 2.5, which again, I'm not very happy about, we can see that we have included more suburbs, including Kurrajong and Melton West and Melton City. So these are really the suburbs that you want to be starting off with and targeting before you consider other locations within Melton City. Not to go for a too detailed breakdown, but let's have a look at Melton City. We can see that past 3-year growth has minimal growth. Rental indicative yield has been rising rapidly steadily with 10-year percent growth, great renter to owner occupier ratio, affordability is very good, sitting at 30 years, a falling stock on market, as well as a stagnant days on market. And so Melton West has those characteristics of a better market than the rest of the other suburbs. Let's have a look at Kurrajong, for example. Very similar to Melton West in terms of the metrics, low renter to owner occupier ratio, virtually no building approvals, virtually low stock on market, selling under a month or close to a month. It's just a little bit high on the vacancy rate, right? 2.2 is a bit high. So Kurrajong and Melton West are the pick of the suburbs within Melton City, right? So if you're looking to invest into Melton City, this is where I'd be looking, Melton West and Kurrajong from a data side. But there is significantly more to this than meets the eye. Because not only can we look at a suburb level, we need to look at the macro level of Melton City. And this is what concerns me. So you actually might be sitting there and wondering, if Melton West and Kurrajong and the west side of Melton doesn't have all these building approvals, where are these houses actually being built? Because there's 4,000 homes somewhere being built. And I'm going to show you the answer. And so what I have done is I have actually reordered this suburb list by the BA ratio, or the building approval ratio. And we can see that Diggers West, Cobblebank, Strathhole, Melton South, Aware Views, these are where the major amounts of building approvals are. And once again, Diggers Rest is not really towards Melton, so that's not too much to be concerned about. Cobblebank is in Melton South. We can see that Strathula is in Melton South, and Melton South as well, right? And again, where are views? So let's have a look at this. Cobblebank. Cobblebank has 183 new homes coming into the area at a vacancy rate of 2.82%. Let's have a look at this suburb. We can see down here another 232 building approvals and a vacancy rate of already 4.45%. Melton South, let's have a look here. Another 194 building approvals with a vacancy rate of 3.84%. And this suburb here, 180 approvals with another 4.45%. And so when we look at this location of Melton, we can already know that the majority of building approvals, the majority of new homes are going to be built in the south side of Melton, where there is already a huge amount of supply, right? Melton South, Cobblebank, Warers View. This is the location where developers are coming in, mass building houses and drastically increasing the vacancy rate, right? We can see roads are built for these new homes. You can see the cookie cutter homes are just built left, right, and center. And we need to understand that this area already has a huge amount of vacant properties available for rent. And will that have an impact on Melton West and Kurrajong? Absolutely. How can it not? They're both in the same region. Now, there could be intercity dynamics that could be affecting why this is, but this large amount of building approvals as well as vacancy rate will have an impact on Melton City in general and Kurrajong and Melton West. And so we actually must factor this in. So if there's any location that I would absolutely be avoiding, it will definitely be Melton South in general. This whole region below this road is an absolute no-go zone in my opinion. We should really be sticking to Melton West and Kurrajong if we are considering investing into Melton City. Now, a couple of tips, right? If you're investing into Kurrajong or Melton West, for example, because those are the better areas you want to be targeting, the last thing you want to do is actually go and target houses on the outside of these areas. You want to stay as close as you can to the inner side of Melton West. So that means these homes, which aren't the cookie cutter homes, which you can see on the outskirts like this. This absolute no-go zone as an investment property. It is a terrible decision. Should really be sticking to the older style homes with the bigger land portions in and around inner city of Melton. But there's a couple more things I want to go through regarding Melton City. So make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel so you are staying up to date with the latest investment locations, guys. I put so much effort into these videos. I hope you're enjoying them. So let's look at the economic profile of Melton, and let me just say, it's pretty good. We have an $8 billion GRP with a population of 206,000 people, and the population is rapidly rising within Melton City. It is a well-known fact. In fact, if we look at the community profile and we look at the population estimates, and we scroll down, we can see that the population is rapidly growing. Change in percent, 6%, 6%, 4%. This is not necessarily abnormal growth, but this is very, very strong growth, and hence why there is so much large investment into the area of Melton, because it is a rapidly growing satellite city of Victoria, and there is no question about that. There is absolutely no question about that. Melton has about 3 billion investment project and investment pipeline for about 206,000 people. And you can actually go and check this out yourself, right? There is this website called Remplan, and you can actually see where the large amounts of development construction is happening. And from this alone, you can already see that large parts of Melton South and the outskirts of Caroline Springs is all being developed, mass developed, right? In terms of its actual economy, it is quite well diversified into healthcare, construction, retail, transport, and warehousing. However, people who actually live in Melton City don't necessarily actually work there. And this actually is reflected in its economic profile where 71.3% of working residents of the city of Melbourne actually travel outside the area to work. So only about 30% of people actually live and work in the area. Some of these workers travel to Melbourne for work, to other parts of Taylor's Hill or Aintree, etc. They have different locations of where they actually work. They don't all just work in Melton City. And its proximity to the CBD is one of its strongest factors of why it's actually getting so much investment and so many people are actually moving to Melton City. So I actually want to summarize Melton City. If you're investing into this location, the pick of the suburbs is going to be Melton West and Kurrajong. These are the locations that show the best metrics in terms from the data side of things. That's what you should be looking at. You should be staying away as far as possible away from Melton South. There is so much development, so much investment coming into these southern parts of area that it is not showing us that it is a suitable investment location. Even if you invest into Melton City in the good parts of it, there is still a very high risk that you will have poor rental yields, that it will have very large vacancy periods because there is so much options to choose from and there's so much supply within the Melton area. Also understand that Melton has the infinite potential of urban sprawl. It has so much vacant land that you can continually developing on the outskirts of Melton and keep growing it out into and connecting to other cities along the main highway. And in terms of its pros, it is a rapidly growing satellite city that is 40 minutes away from the CBD where you can find homes for under $500,000. And how long that will remain, only time will tell. I don't think it'll last too long. However, it is important to consider the pros and cons when investing into a location like Melton City. A lot of people have different differing opinions. Try shut them out and look at it objectively and see if that's the best decision for you. Hopefully, I've laid out all the facts in a coherent manner for you to take away and actually reflect upon and actually make a decision about whether Melton City is the location that you want to be investing into for the short term or the long term. If you have any questions, make sure you are subscribed to my under 450k private property community. There is so much value jam packed, and you can ask me questions at any point of time, and I will provide you with tailored advice and feedback that you can take away and implement into your strategy and your game. Till next time. Thank you.